Hello everyone, welcome to learning how to do the factor theorem. By the end of this video you should understand how to use the factor theorem to derive a root of a polynomial and understand how to properly write it, because it's not hard but people can lose marks from doing it. So let's start with this example. F of x is equal to x cubed minus 37x plus 84. So find out what f of 4 is. Well, what we need to do is we need to write it like this. F of 4 is going to be equal to, and all we're going to do is we're going to substitute 4 in for x. So we're left with 4 cubed minus 37 times 4 plus 84. Okay? And now we need to evaluate each of these terms. So 4 cubed is 64. 37 times 4 is going to be, minus is going to be minus 148. And then plus 84 at the end. And when you add those numbers up together, we're left with an answer of 0. And whenever we do the factor theorem, this is what we're after. We want 0 as an answer. Okay? So now, write down a factor of f of x. A factor of f of x is simply just going to be x minus 4. Because remember what we said. If this is equal to 0, this also has to be equal to 0. And so therefore we get x is equal to 4. Okay? So now let's look at another example. But before we do that, if you found that helpful, do make sure you subscribe, as it helps out the channel a lot. Now let's look at this example. Exact same thing as what we did before, only this time f of x is going to be 18x cubed plus 15x squared minus x minus 2. So what is f of minus a half? F of minus a half is just going to be 18 times minus a half cubed plus 15 times minus a half squared minus a half minus 2. And when we do all of that, we get 9 over 4 plus 15 over 4 minus 9 over 4 plus a half minus 2. Okay? And when we put all of that together, we get an answer of 0. And so what we can say is that, even though the question doesn't ask us for it, we can say that a factor is x plus a half. Or if you want to, you can also say it's 2x plus 1. Right, that's also correct. We'll look at this in a little bit more detail in a few lessons' time. But I thought I'd just mention it now so that it makes sense. Okay, if that didn't make sense to you though, join my Discord server and send me whatever questions you want and we can help. But let's look at this example for today. What if we're told nothing about the factor theorem? Well, this time what we're going to do is we're going to use trial and error, okay, to work out what x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6, what one of the roots are. So let's start with an easy example, 0. F of 0 is just going to be equal to 0 cubed minus 2 times 0 squared minus 5 times 0 plus 6, and that's just going to be 6. Now, I'm just using this as an example, but if you have a plus 6 here, it usually means that 0 isn't a factor. Let's try something else though. Let's try f of 1. Okay, f of 1 is just going to be 1 cubed minus 2 times 1 squared minus 5 times 1 plus 6. And so what we're left with is 1 minus 2 minus 5 plus 6. And that's just equal to 0. And so we can safely say that 1 is a factor. No, not a factor, a solution of f of x. And so therefore, x minus 1 is a factor of f of x. What about this example? So for this one, we're told that the polynomial x cubed plus 3x minus 6x plus k has a factor x minus 2. So what is k going to be equal to? Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to substitute the solution for x into f of x, right? So if x minus 2 is a factor, that means that x is equal to 2 is a solution. Okay? And so all we need to do is we need to factorize, well, use the factor theorem. So f of 2 is going to be 2 cubed plus 3 times 2 squared minus 6 times 2 plus k. And what's that all going to be equal to? Because it's a solution. Exactly, it's going to be equal to 0. So we can say that 8 plus 12 minus 12 plus k is equal to 0. And so therefore, I'll write it up here. 8 plus k is equal to 0. And so therefore k is equal to minus 8. And that is our final answer. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this video was helpful. If you guys need any further assistance from me, drop me an email and we can organize a meeting and a quote. Keep on learning, as you have no idea what you're capable of doing.